Hey guys, what's going on? It's coming at you with Armory update number 5. This is, I guess, kind of my bon voyage to Dash IE, right? Um, I fully expect her when IO's Armory with all those really hot cards to coming out. I fully expect her to LL really soon. So I just kind of wanted to get in one more armory session with her and play what my favorite deck, right? It's my favorite deck in the format in the game. Really, I'm gonna miss her when she LLs, but luckily LL format is picking up and grabbing more attention, so we're having more LL events. But regardless, let's get down to it. I played Control Dash IE, which is Dash Inventor Extraordinaire. Basically, it's just a fatigue match where you shoot your pistol a bunch. Super fun. I love it. It's basically all about blocking out and doing the perfect math to counter and keep your deck high while keeping your hand consistently dealing enough damage to make them either give up some of their damage or just take a bunch of pistol shots back to back to back, right? Crown of Providence, I still like this helmet. It's, in my opinion, one of my favorite helmets. For a long time, people were questioning if this was the best, but with the new draw spells from Dash IO, seems that Imbalance maybe, or the other helm, I forget its name. It probably may be a little bit better. I still like Crown of Providence, so it's a really good hand fixer. If you see it, no block too early, you can block with it immediately and get it out of your hand for something later down the chain line, right? Findal Spring Tunic. If you're playing Fatigue, you're playing Findals. It's too generically strong to have. I don't want to say too strong, but it's really strong to have that extra passive resource point every 3 turns. Stonewall Gauntlets for your really go wide aggro-y buffy decks, right? Tekla base arms and legs, because really you're trying to focus on putting armor on as much as possible to expand your health. And then, of course, Tekla pistol. My item of choice to start with, of course, if you're running fatigue, it usually is going to be induction chamber. It's going to have action 1. For 1 resource, if there's no steam counters on induction chamber, put a steam counter on it. It goes go again. And then once per turn action, remove a steam counter from induction chamber. Target once per turn attack reaction. Remove a steam counter from induction chamber. Target mechanologist pistol attack gains go again. So basically, it gives you the ability to cycle your pistol multiple times a turn. Now there are some cheeky little things you can do to get rid of that. There's some definitely cards and classes that have the ability to destroy items in the arena. I know Brute definitely has some, right? Reinhardt player has showed me that, right? He killed a couple of my induction chambers. I lived off 1 the entire game. But yeah, it's super fun. I ended up going. It was a larger armory for us. So I ended up going 3-1. I got 2nd place, and it was just a super fun night. My boy Phil won. He was playing Aura. He got 1st place. Thank God I dodged him all night. Right? It was just a wonky. I think it was a wonky setting. I did not go into him last turn. It just worked out the way the pairings were that he paired into someone else because I had already X1 into going into last round. Because I X1 in my 3rd round, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a funky night for everything. But yeah, I ended up going 2nd, going 3-1. With 3-1, I think my opponent's win percentage were just better, right? So what I ended up playing was the Battlefront Bastion. This is really reminiscent to a spin-off of Justin Ku's list. Again, if you've watched any of my past videos, I really inspire from that list. I like that list a lot. It's just kind of what I have. Made some changes from the last time, especially with some of the newer stuff. It's what you're facing in the meta. Count your blessings, stuff like that. It's just you have to be ready for with some cards. But yeah, so we're playing 3 Battlefront Bastion Red. Basically, it's just when you block with this card, by itself, you prevent the next 1 point. So basically, by itself, it's a 3 block. With other cards, it's a 2 block. It's a 7/2 for 3. Super good. Really, you want to play them early for just really good pressure during the game, if you can. If not, block them out and then just get them out of your deck because you really don't want to see them late. That's true for most of your red attacks, though. Anyway, Sensor would be the next one. I like Sensor a lot. When Sensor, it really kind of makes them block because they know you're gonna end up calling a really strong card that they usually are gonna see into or stacked into. So they'll block into it and give up a lot of their hand for it, right? But it's a 5/3, so that's really good. The 3 block's really great, and then it's for 1, so I like that. So you can just, if you want to, you can crack Tunic and send it. It works really well off of blue because you can pistol, give it go again, send it. I don't know, just really good card. Generically good. Enlightened Strike I like a lot. I saw way more uses for it this Armory. Sending it for 7 was really good. I chain pistols and then send it for 7. I like E-Strike. It's a 5 for 3, 0 cost. Just really strong, as I said. Anything with that 3 block, 5 damage. 6 is what you want to aim for usually, but usually those are the 2 costs. And these being 0 to 1 cost are just really good and strong. We've got Favor Scene. Favor Scene being the opt defense reaction for 4. It lets you opt 1. Super good in the most matchups, right? It's a 4 block, so it covers up a lot of damage, especially with a lot of go wide decks. Firewall kind of serves the same purpose. It's not a defense reaction, but it is a 4 block acknowledged block. It's not an action, so it does get around stuff like overpower. But it also, when it defends, allows you to cycle into your armor. So if it's not an Evo, when you defend with it, you just put it on the bottom of your deck. You reveal it, put it on the bottom of your deck. If it is an Evo, you can keep it there. The next thing, and this is a newer one I added, it's a 5/2. I don't like the 2 cost, but I really like the effect. And it's a 1 for 5, so that's good. When this attacks a hero, you may banish a card from their graveyard. So it's called Gravekeeping. Basically, this is just in there to counteract the Count Your Blessings decks, right? So if you see a lot of Count Your Blessings decks, you usually do stuff like this, Poison the Well, etc. And it's just to clear Count Your Blessings out of the graveyard. That way they don't gain as much value from casting it. Hand Behind the Pin is almost like a CNC. It's like a bad CNC, really. When this hits a hero, return a card in their arsenal face up. Turn a card in their arsenal face up, then banish a non-attack action card from their arsenal. So basically, it's just to get rid of like instants or instants, D-reacts, the usual stuff that people would be hiding in their arsenal to better like set up turns later. Play 3 induction chambers. We already talked about that. It's what gives your pistol go again. I put in the 3rd Oasis Respite. I like Oasis Respite a lot, and especially with all the arcane around. You really have to respect it. So Oasis Respite just generically prevents 4 for 1. Really good with the Findals, but it also, if you're behind on life, you gain 1, and that's really what got my last match for me. Just being able to chain Oasis Respite, Sigil of Solace, and keep myself around 20 all game really allowed me to kind of secure that, because the other player just kind of got behind in life too hard because he was just eating damage to send large attacks. Which is to no fault in his own, right? I think his Borbo would be a little bit better because it was Riptide. But we'll go over matchups here in a bit. Sink Below, we play the red Sink Belows 3, just generically good. Again, 4 of defense reaction. You can fix your hand with it. You can sink when it does block, like your helmet. You can sink 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. And as I said, it's just really good to have 4 blocks in your deck when you're trying to do fatigue, because you want to cover up as much damage as possible. Generic defense reaction, Unmovable. I like this one a lot. Especially I like playing it for my arsenal. It covers up 8. Super good defense reaction against like brutes and anything that goes tall. Because you can just kind of you can cover up most of it with 1 card or 2 card pitch, or 1 card pitch, right? And then Spark of Genius is just if you're not seeing your items, your plasma purifiers, your induction chambers, you go into Spark of Genius and place them on field. Otherwise, it's just a generically good 3 block. That all you've got is a generic defense reaction that's a 3 block. That if it's blocking something with, or if it's defending something with 2 or less, this chain, I get to draw a card. Data Link is just a generically good 1 for 3 blue. Evo Still Controller is good because it allows you to gain more health throughout the game. It's a blue. I really like it. The 4 kind of sucks, but hey, it's more life. It sticks. Same with the boots. That's all they really are. They don't trigger. There's nothing on place. It's just more health into the game. Hold the Line is a 2-drop, or is a 2. I play blue Hold the Line, so it's a 2 defense reaction that if they've drawn 2 or more cards that turn, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to the hero. So it comes up to like a 5 block when it's pertinent, right? Otherwise, it's just to cover up a little bits of damage here and there, or cycle into your pistol. Magnetic Shockwave, again, it's not great, not really doing it because you're not boosting anything. It's just a generic blue 4 for 3 for 2. It really should be things like Ripple Away or Warmongers, but I didn't have any, or not any, but I only have 1 of each of those, so I'm playing things like Magnetic Shockwave. I do have 1 Ripple Away now, so I'm playing 1 Ripple Away. Still hardcore with the Sifts. I still think these should be truces, but I don't own them, so Sift it is for now. Sprocket Rocket, again, just a 1 for 3 blue. T-Bone, 1 for 3 blue, but if you do swing it at them, they have to devote armor. All of those 1 for 3 blues, by the way, have boost, so they are just to add 1 more damage onto the chain when you're chaining your pistol, and that's what they're there for. I played this runs on me just because we have a lot of assassins around us when we play our armories, and it's really good into go wide decks, such as Assassin or the new Dio deck, Zin, Kaya, or not Kaya, KO, the other, just Ninja's Fi. We have a Fi in our locals, but this runs on me. It is a really good generic 3-drop, 3 blue, block 3 blue. Throttle, really good mech, block 3, 4 for 2, and then of course Warmonger's Diplomacy. That's basically have to choose War Peace if they want to attack, or if they want to roll an action card or anything like other than an attack action code, right? For the inventory, Plasma Purifier, because that is really only there for your fatigue matchups when you're going into fatigue, because you really want to be able to hit over their cards, and making your pistol a 4 every turn is really good. Achilles Accelerators, because again, you just got to respect the arcane matchup, and again, even with the respect, you still just sometimes die to it. It's what Adaptive Dissolver and Visitronics there for. They're different pieces, so you can have more AB in case one gets devoted, or like Visitronics I just wouldn't generically use into most matchups unless it was like not a mage, something that just primarily focused arcane, right? Bigger arcane like Kano and Florian, stuff like that. But yeah, I ended up going 3-1. The matchups were, I want to say round 1, I ended up going... Oh yeah, round 1 was with on versus New. It was with my buddy Steven. I ended up getting this one. It was actually rough though. He played really well. He's getting really good at this game. He went really tall because he wasn't seeing his any wide turn, so he just started doing really like two really tall attacks a turn. Um, but being able to cover up so much damage and being able to play around that, knowing how to play around that with a bunch of defense reactions in the deck, 'cause that's really what the deck's made of, right? I was able to play around the larger stack turns long enough to ping him down with the pistol. Round two, I had a guy playing. We had a friend of ours playing Bolton. I generally usually lose to Bolton. This guy on Bolton. It's the first time I've beaten him, but I kind of learned how to play against it. I sideboarded out a lot of my attacks that I didn't need. Like I definitely didn't play Battlefront Bastions in this. I left only the 3 blocks in, and it went way better. Just because I didn't see as much attacks to have to block with. He ended up giving a lot of his life up to push wide turns. But yeah, that was round 2. I got that. Round 3, I went into my buddy Cameron's Viscerai, and oh my god, I misplayed early and got stomped late. It was just disgusting. I sigiled when he had the Reaping Scythe on or whatever. Basically, if you're above health and if you have more health than them, you can't gain health. And I was at 33, he was at 30. I should have took the Arcane and then sigiled, but I messed up, and I didn't think about it. I didn't even think about the Scythe being there. So I sigiled on cast and basically ran into Reaping Scythe, but that wasn't why I lost. He just was sending really strong turns. He was sending like 9 to 14 damage, 2 to 3 times a turn. So it was really, really hard, even with the Arcane absorption, to beat him. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to spend more time into that match. So that was my round 3, and it was an L. And this is where the problem is. Cameron lost to Phil, which was our undefeated, and then I lost to him. So he couldn't go in to get up against Phil last round. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I dodged Phil, but yeah, it ended up where Phil didn't, or Phil was undefeated in going into Jack, who I think was 1-2. That was their the last round. So Phil was just generically going to take that. But yeah, anyways, Viscerai destroyed me. Just absolutely destroyed me. I'm not sure what I was supposed to do in that matchup as control, right? I think I go more aggro with the control, but we'll just, as I said, I'm gonna have to play test into more because it's a rough matchup for me right now. Round 4 was into my buddy Andy. He's playing Riptide. I did get this one locking in my second place. It was a rough matchup. He was sending dominate after dominate after dominate. I did end up covering up most of it every turn because I was arsenaling defense react after defense react every turn, and I was able to just cover up most of all of the with armor and the defense reacts, all of the dominate turns. So it was a really uphill battle for him in that sense because I was just able to cover up most of his damage, but at the same time he was doing so much base, like just burn damage with his traps and his blood pox and stuff like that. I don't think I had this matchup if I didn't see my sigils and Oasis Respites when I saw them, because they allowed me to hover around the health I hovered at, which was 18 to 20 all game until the end, which was, I think I got down to like 8 or 9. But yeah, really, really strong player, really strong deck. I think if he played with Dreadbore, it might have would have just secured him that win, right? I don't know if he just didn't have space or maybe he didn't own the bow. But yeah, it's just one of those decks that if they don't have Dreadbore, it can still be rough. But Dreadbore just kind of wins them the matchup because it just shuts off most of my deck. Um, Unless I Arsenal, right. But still, good matchup on his part, and we had a really close game. It was super fun. Command Zone priced amazingly. I think we had 2 boxes into this one, and I think we pulled like 2 marbles. Not marbles. I'm sorry, mythics. Yeah, marvels would be great. No, we pulled 2 mythics out of our packs. So, anyways, it was super good, super fun time. Kind of as I said, it's just more of my goodbye to Dash because I know she's gonna be LLing real soon with the new IO stuff coming. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a wonderful